Let me start by just asking you about this conference. Is it living up to your expectations?
Well, thank you so much. I mean, it's fantastic that ahead of the G7 meeting and the peace summit, President Zelenskyy in this day in Berlin, this conference has a very particular angle, and this has targeted to reach the goal of unlocking the private investments and loans to private companies in Ukraine, which is a key to financing the defense sector in Ukraine, the key driver of Ukraine's economy. This is the first time since the beginning of the full-scale war where we bring this incentive to every part of Ukraine, and it's very important ahead of the G7 meeting when the decisions on granting the sustainable financial support to be held. But I will start by quoting Chancellor Scholz over his opening statements today is the best recovery is the recovery which is not needed. That's why, of course, everybody are concentrated to mobilize necessary efforts to air defense in Ukraine.
Germany has become a major weapon supplier to Ukraine. Do you have any reason to think that that could change?
Well, I think no, and my position is having a serious background because of a number of consultations held, because of the security commitments signed, but also because of a serious political commitment to be undertaken over the G7 meeting and the upcoming NATO summit. The stronger role on securing the financial and military support of the global players will be held and set in the documents. And Germany has the biggest interest in that, as you've said, as the major military supporter of Ukraine and the major financial contributor to that.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about NATO in just a moment. Today, President Zelenskyy, he addressed the German parliament, and there was a sizable number of lawmakers who boycotted his speech. Lawmakers from the far right, from a populist party, who were quoted as saying, "He is beggar Zelenskyy. He's come here to escalate the war and asking us to use our tax money to pay for welfare for Ukrainian refugees." I mean, these are lawmakers. These are people who speak for certain parts of German society. How does that make you feel?
I think there's still many things boiling as the European elections has just ended a couple of days ago. So there's a fresh energy to make different statements. But the practice we really have to judge not by statements, by the actions. And the actions are following that German from every region of it is now represented at the recovery conference, and hundreds of agreements has been signed at different levels. And Germany and German companies, German people has become the largest supporters of Ukraine. So we really put the line between statements and actions speak in favor of supporting the democracy and the freedom which we are now fighting for.